Leland Vittert, host of On Balance. He's been following this invasion closely. Leland, good morning to you. I've got to start with this military strike on the base near the border of Poland. Now, when it comes to this, is Russia trying to taunt NATO by striking so close?
Taunt probably is a strong word, but it's certainly significant because this was the staging area for all of the NATO weapons that have come across the border from Poland into Ukraine and then being sent out. So it has strategic value in and of itself as a base. What you're seeing perhaps is the Russians being willing to take more chances and be more aggressive. And this is par for the course. When the Russians are backed into a corner, they tend to double down. So in a way, from the Ukrainian perspective, from the U.S. perspective, you'd say this is probably perhaps indicative that the Ukrainians are pushing in hurting the Russians in ways they certainly did not think was possible. You make a good point in terms of is Vladimir Putin trying to taunt NATO? Vladimir Putin would like nothing more than for NATO to get involved in some way, or for him to have some kind of excuse to make this about Russia versus NATO. That would play a whole lot better back home, where this war is becoming increasingly unpopular.
There is a new report from Politico. It says the White House actually turned down a request from the Pentagon to send people in to train Ukrainian fighters in guerrilla warfare tactics. Why was that denied?
We don't have enough time this morning to go through the list of all of the requests by the Ukrainians that the Biden administration turned down for not wanting to provoke Putin. And over the past couple of weeks, it's become very clear that the overarching organizing principle for the Biden administration is don't provoke Putin. And you played that clip from Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, just a couple of minutes ago, talking about how much he wants a no-fly zone. There's a feeling that perhaps Vladimir Putin realizes that the overarching principle of the United States is to not provoke him. So at the slightest hint that NATO or the United States might become more involved, might send in trainers for guerrilla warfare, might have Ukrainians come back across the borders into Poland or Romania to be trained in guerrilla warfare, might send different or more weapon systems into Ukraine. The list goes on. Vladimir Putin saber rattles a little bit, and then the United States backs off, certainly as they did about the fighter jets.
But is that possible? I mean, considering how much of a strong statement the president made in his State of the Union address, quite pointedly speaking out against Russia's tactics. Can you help Ukraine while not intensifying tensions with Russia?
Well, you can help them in a lot of different ways. Whether or not Russia chooses to have their tensions intensified is a different question. But what you've seen from the administration is certainly prioritizing not, quote unquote, provoking Putin. And Vladimir Putin, I guess, gets to decide on his own what does and does not provoke him. And that's part of the problem. And that's been the problem with the administration. I think Vladimir Zelensky is realizing just how much on his own Ukraine is. And that's becoming this common theme going forward. And we've seen the contrapositive of that, which is President Biden says over and over and over again, Russia is going to pay a price. Russia is going to pay a price. Vladimir Putin is going to pay a price. There'll be a price. There'll be a price. But so far, the only real price is being paid by the American consumer in the form of higher inflation. There's been a lot of people now asking if the American consumer is not going to pay a much higher price than the Russians are, not to mention the fact that so far Putin keeps being told he's going to pay a price and so far hasn't cared about any price that's been extracted.
Yeah, it's very nuanced right now. Thank you so much, Leland. We appreciate your time as always. You can watch On Balance with Leland Vittert every weeknight on NewsNation. It starts at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.